weapons. They are dangerous. They are often associated with war, tragedy, and death. In the U.S., they symbolize our right to bear arms, to protect our country and our loved ones. But in the video game world, weapons just represent pure fun. And that is what this episode is going to be about today. Our favorite weapons that we have used over the years for an assortment of great games. Let's get this going. Brent, roll the intro.
Warning, Brent and Joe, the Retro Show, may contain video games from the 80s and 90s. So if you're under the age of 20, you might not know what the we're talking about.
I won't beg, break, I'm going away. Every moment's one more chance to stand up or get in the way. So when I go, I want the world to know.
What's going on, guys? I'm really excited to be back for Brent and Joe, the Retro Show, episode 2. Now today, I picked my top 5 favorite weapons, and Joe picked his top 5 favorite weapons, but I want you guys to pick your top 5 favorite weapons and drop them down below in the comments section. Back to you, Joe. Okay.
So, it was really difficult to narrow this down to 5 weapons of all time. I've been playing video games for over 35 years, so we're going to go with my number 5th pick is the AK-47. The AK-47 is often symbolic to, communism and terrorism, but in the video game world, the AK-47 is a lot of fun. It's usually the type of weapon that is mid-ranged, powerful, could be a little inaccurate, but the inaccuracy makes up for its plain, straight-up dropping power. And that's what I always loved with the AK-47 in various games. It may be a little inaccurate, but it usually can drop, the enemy really quickly. I remember playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and in order to unlock the golden AK-47, you had to get a few hundred headshots while playing multiplayer. So it was really challenging. It kept me busy for a while, but it was so worth it to get that golden bling. And even other games like Black or 007. I mean, the list goes on and on for all the great games that feature the AK-47. So that's why I had included it on my list. So number 5, the AK-47.
Yeah! Okay, Joe, that was a really good pick, but my number 5 is a little bit different, and we are going to jump into the Nintendo 64, and let's talk about 007 GoldenEye, the Golden Gun. Okay, so in 007 GoldenEye, the Golden Gun is so badass, and everybody must watch out if you're in multiplayer mode. Whoever has the Golden Gun is a one-hit kill. You can hit them from your chest, you can hit them in the head, you can hit them in the shoulder, or even the leg. It's a one-hit kill. The Golden Gun is really powerful. It has golden bullets, and like I said, it's a one-hit kill, so the damage is 100, and also the recoil is at a 10. This gun is definitely top 5 for me.
Number 4 is the rocket launcher.
Holy shit!
You bastards could do 90. Tell me a situation that you played a video game and rocket launcher was available and it just did not enhance your experience. I love rocket launchers. My first love with the rocket launcher was back in like 99 or 2000 when I had the Dreamcast, and I used to play Quake 3 online multiplayer. That was the very first time I experienced playing, a video game online versus other people, and it was just, it was a race to get me that rocket launcher. That was like the supreme weapon in that game, and it was just so much fun blowing things up to pieces. So, and even, in any other shooting game or platformers, shoot 'em ups, side scrollers, shmups, like the rockets will always enhance your experience. So number 4 for me, the rocket launcher.
I am the Terminator.
Hey Joe, that was a really great pick, but I'm a little bit jealous that I didn't think of that. Okay, so now I gotta bring some energy to the table, and at the number 4 spot, speaking of energy, I'm going with the melee weapon, and that is the sword from the Halo series. Now, it's no surprise that the Halo franchise is one of my favorites, so I definitely have to have a Halo weapon on my list. Now, the energy sword is really important because it is a one-hit kill. If you lunge at someone, if you drop down on them, it is definitely a one-hit kill. But the best part about the sword is the reach. Now, you can literally have an advantage just from the reach. That's why I didn't necessarily go with the gravity hammer. I went with the sword because I feel like it has a way longer reach and it definitely does a lot of damage. So does the gravity hammer, but I definitely feel more comfortable with the sword. But also, if you're in a shooting combat, you definitely can't use a sword, so it's really cool that you can use a secondary weapon, so you can just tuck that sword away, pull out an actual gun, because we all know that the bullets travel a lot faster than the sword. So, at the number 4 spot, I picked the energy sword.
Number 3. Now, being a huge Star Wars fan, I had to include something from Star Wars on my list. Sorry, just had to do it.
Hera, go! We'll cover you!
Number 3 on my list is the lightsaber. Now, hear me out. Now, the lightsaber's been available, for 30 years in video games, going back from the Nintendo days, Super Nintendo. My first experience using the lightsaber was the Star Wars series, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi for the Super Nintendo. Those games were really fun. Difficult, but a lot of fun. First time I got to use the lightsaber and start carving everything up, and that continued on, from the PlayStation 2, Nintendo 64, Soul Calibur. There's so many great games that feature that lightsaber. I got to play out my childhood dreams of being a Jedi. So yeah, whenever I have an opportunity to use that lightsaber, I'm gonna use it.
Okay, Joe, this list is getting crazy. It's getting really chaotic. And at the number 3 spot, speaking of chaotic, I have to go with the Blades of Chaos from God of War. Now, if you're not familiar with the God of War, or at least even heard of it, you must be living under a rock.
Good morning!
The Blades of Chaos are a pair of chain blades that were forged by Ares. There are many different attacks to use for the blades, and also there are many different levels of the blades. The blades were made for a servant who would prove his worthiness of his service. Kratos was given the blades after he pledged his life to the God of War. He accidentally killed his wife and daughter while he was on a god-driven rampage.
Alright, so my number 2 pick is going to be none other than the spreader. The spreader weapon. It spreads its madness throughout the boards and kills all the enemies on the screen. What could be better? My first experience with the spreader was playing Contra back in the late 80s. And it's followed me for the rest of my gaming life. Playing whenever I have a chance to use a spreader weapon, no matter what the game is, if it's available, I will go with the spreader. It's my favorite style of shooter. Does that make any sense? It's my favorite style of shooter. It doesn't make any sense. Edit it. No, but definitely, I love that spreader. And I consider the shotgun a spreader weapon too, right? Because it shoots like a spread shot shell. And yeah, this is my list, so I'm saying I can do what I want because it's my list, right? No, I'm only kidding. Or am I?
That's right, at the number 2 spot, I picked the ray gun from the Call of Duty series. The ray gun is available in the zombie game mode, and also the only way to attain this weapon is to get lucky out of the mystery box. The ray gun is by far the best weapon for zombies due to its ability for a one-shot kill, and it also has high ammo capacity and can take out multiple zombies at once, called the splash damage. But you have to be really careful using the splash damage because it can also backfire on you, and it also can take down your health as well. So at the number 2 spot we have from Call of Duty, the ray gun.
My number 1 weapon, my most favorite weapon to use of all time. and especially in video games, is the katana blade. Samurai sword, or just a sword in general. I love the katana blade ever since Ninja Gaiden days. You know, just as I grew up, whenever a sword was available, you know, brawlers, fighting games, you name it, a sword will always enhance your experience by slicing and dicing. And if there was ever to be an apocalyptic world, you'd see Turbo Joe with his trusty sword. Yeah, a sword and a little axe. Those would be my weapons of choice, I think. Because with guns, eventually ammo would be run out, and you'd have to get back to hand-to-hand combat to survive. So anyway, yeah, I think that's what that's all I got for my weapons. My 5 weapons. I hope you can relate. I hope you enjoyed them. And yeah, Brent, what do you got next? Brent.
Well done, Joe. It's really going to be hard to follow up from your number 1 spot, so let's catapult to my number 1 spot, shall we?
Hello? Brent, you there? Brent, this is kind of embarrassing. I'm like stuck here on air.
Joe, I'm really sorry, but for this weapon, I really have to go to the vault. I'll see you in a minute.
Brent? Hello? Brent, you there? Brent?
Oh my god, I thought I was dead. I guess that just brought me back to reality. That's right, at the number 1 spot we have the Fat Man from the Fallout series. This is a catapult that fires nuclear bombs. Now granted, in the real world, I'm glad we don't have these on the streets, but in the digital world, these things are freaking awesome. It's a lot of fun to use, but the M42 Fat Man fires many nukes, as I said, and also it might be a small, but it's a devastating blast. And it also kills any enemies that are surrounding that area. Now I know there are a lot of great weapons in the Fallout series, but I have to pick the M42 Fat Man catapult. Guys, I just want to say filming this episode was a blast, no pun intended, and even working with Joe, we share the same passion for video games, and also we have a lot more great and bigger and better plans for you guys in the future, and we can't wait to get to that point when we cross it. And also make sure you guys go over there, subscribe to Joe's channel, subscribe to my channel, the links will be in the description, and also like I said before, make sure you guys drop your top 5 favorite weapons of all time, list down in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later.
And we hope to see you real soon. Thanks for watching. Peace.